This is Mitch for Eagle Radio. We're back with a KBIC update. In the studio, we have Beth Connor from the KBIC Housing Department. She is the Housing Department Manager. Beth, welcome to the studio.
Hey, Mitch. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. So first of all, can you tell us a little bit about, give us the job description of the Housing Department Manager. Tell me a little bit about your day-to-day work.
So my focus is the Admissions and Occupancy Department. We have a team of 4 others, the 3 occupancy specialists and an office coordinator. And our job is to just make sure that, like the office coordinator, she does all the intake of the applications and making sure everyone compiles all the paperwork together. The occupancy specialists are, there's 3 main things that need to be done. The annual recertifications, the housing inspections, and just communicating back and forth with the tenants. And then we just making sure that we are following HUD guidelines and our policies and procedures. So that's kind of the basic things that we...
And for people who might not know, what is HUD?
It is where the funding we receive from, that's where we get our funding from to keep these programs going for.
And do they have a lot of, the HUD policies and regulations? Is there a lot to it?
Actually, no. There's a few things that HUD requires, and then the rest is they leave it up to the tribe to make their own policies.
Okay.
And then we just have to follow those.
And do you kind of like that style? Do you like they just kind of stand back and let you kind of come up with your own thing?
Yeah. And then we can, do what works best for us in our community.
That is cool.
There's only you have to be low income, a Native American, and then we have to follow our waiting list. So those are the 3 things that HUD just makes sure that we follow.
Okay, so then, kind of going back to your day-to-day, are you doing a lot of paperwork in your office? You're doing a lot of meetings? What's kind of look like?
I kind of do monitor what's going on with the occupancy specialists, make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then, I can come into work and have a whole plan of what I'm going to do during the day. And then the phone will start ringing. So then, I have to just handle problems and situations as they occur.
So on paper, you're doing the same thing every day, but every day could be really different depending on what it brings.
Yes, and every family that we deal with is different. So, and there's a lot of different issues that come up. So,
I should get used to that answer from managers. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
It depends on who calls that day. So let's talk a little bit about the latest then when it comes to that. What have you been up to lately here?
So the housing did have a grievance committee, and it wasn't really used before I started. So I got that going again, and we have a team. So if tenants or applicants don't like our decisions on things, they can always, we have a form they can fill out, or they can just write me a letter requesting to go in front of the grievance committee, and then they would be the final answer to their issue.
All right. So when did that grievance committee sort of go away then?
Well, it's been there, but it just was never used.
Oh, okay.
So it's been there for years, and then once it just wasn't utilized. So I kind of got a new team going, and we started using that a lot more.
All right, tell us a little bit about the committee. Who's on the committee? How do you get on the committee? And
it's just like any tribal committee. You have to have a request to get on it, but. Right now, Jeffrey Lohman, Serene Smith, or Gauthier, Robin Rowe, Crystal Brunk, Drew, and Brenda Brunk.
Oh, very good. Well, that's very cool. So have you just kind of pretty much a revamping of the program, or are you using all the same procedures and policies and it works the same way?
We went over and we redid the bylaws. So just, because we had a few meetings and then kind of did it according to how it works for the group. So
very cool. What about updates outside of your specific work at housing? Any other announcements from there? A lot of tenants had complained about mold issues in their home. So, usually you got to wash it with bleach and water. It's usually it's not going to make you sick or whatever. But NRD has equipment to test for mold now. So they've been working with us. So I think today will be our 3rd time working with NRD to test a home, just to give the tenants some to make them feel better about, it's not going to make you sick, or is it making you sick? You just, right now, I think we did 2 and they've come out fine. So like bleach and water is just the thing that we recommend that you wash it with. But
So I'm a little bit curious about that test. How do they do that? Like an air test or like swabbing things or?
I'm not actually sure. I have not been there. Today will be my first time that I'm going to go and see what they do. So
I might have to see. We might have to get some cameras in there at some point and see how they do that. It sounds kind of interesting. And then something else that's a topic recently has been the pet policy and trying to get tenants to comply with it. What is the pet policy?
Yeah, so you're only allowed 2 pets in housing. A few years ago, the tribal council adopted the policy due to problems with pets being loose and running in the neighborhood. People aren't feeling safe. We actually had someone get attacked. So you're required to register your pets. You're only allowed 2 pets. There's a $50 fee for each pet, and they need to be neutered or spayed. And we need all the shot records and a picture of your pet. And we're having an issue with tenants complying with that. And we have animals running around, getting into garbage,
Yeah.
and tenants calling. They're calling on the neighbors. They don't have pet. They have pets running around. They're barking at me. Well, they don't even have their pets registered. So it's an issue. So if you have a pet, come get it registered. Just follow this is our community. Follow the policies so that we can have a good community to live in. People don't have to be afraid to go for a walk.
All right, and then also something else you mentioned off the air. You had been to some trainings over these past couple of years. Can you tell us a little bit about those trainings and how they've helped you out in the department?
So I've been to several trainings, and I've met a lot of people from different tribes out east, out west, and it works well because then we can network. We send each other emails, and if someone needs information or updating their policies, we can, recommend to each other what we're doing. And also, I noticed that we are so far advanced than most of the housing authorities.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're I would say almost 20 years ahead of them. I've been working for housing for all these years, and it's just, I don't know. We're so, we have an amazing community, and people don't know. It's not perfect, it's not luxurious, but I'll tell you what, it's a lot better than what other people and tribes and reservations have out there. So,
and then what about future projects? Can you tell us about what's coming up? Anything like that?
So the tribe does have bids out, accepting bids for paving the roads in the housing area. So you can look for this summer. They will be starting Spruce and Lion Street with repaving and putting in sidewalks. And then they will continue to the future to the rest of the areas.
Well, very good. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.